Have you ever stood up from a chair and felt like your knees were a little stiffer than they used to be? Or maybe you notice your back aches a bit more after a long afternoon on the couch. You're not alone. It's something so many of us experience after 60, and yet it often catches us off guard. One minute we're enjoying a good book or a favorite TV show, and the next we're wondering why our bodies don't feel quite as spry as they used to. Here's the thing. Sitting isn't bad in itself. We all need rest, and a cozy chair can feel like a little piece of heaven. But sitting too much? That's where the trouble starts. Especially as we get older, our bodies need a certain amount of daily movement just to stay functional, strong, and independent. When we sit for long periods, hour after hour, it quietly chips away at our energy, our balance, even our mood. And most of the time, we don't even realize it's happening. That's why in this video, we're going to talk about something that can truly change the way you feel every single day. We're diving into 6 simple, daily fixes that will help you sit less and move more without making your life harder. In fact, these habits are designed to make your life easier, more comfortable, and even more enjoyable. So if you've been feeling a little more sluggish lately, or if you just want to feel a little stronger, a little more alive, keep watching. This is for you. Let's start with one of the easiest and most overlooked fixes. Standing up more often, even if it's just for a minute or two. It sounds almost too simple, doesn't it? But that's the beauty of it. Think about how often you might sit through an entire morning, afternoon, or evening, only getting up for meals or bathroom breaks. Our bodies weren't made to stay in one position for that long. When we sit for extended periods, our circulation slows, our muscles relax too much, and our joints can become stiff. But when we stand, even just to stretch or walk across the room, we wake everything up again. An easy way to start this habit is by linking it to something you already do. For example, every time you finish a cup of tea or water, stand up and take a few steps. Or, if you're watching TV, stand up during commercial breaks or between episodes. It doesn't have to be a big ordeal. You don't need to march laps around the house. Just a simple act of standing, moving your arms, maybe walking the window and back. It gets your blood flowing, your muscles engaged, and it gives your joints that gentle reminder, hey, we're still in the game. You might even set a gentle reminder on your phone or a kitchen timer, something that nudges you every 30 to 45 minutes, not to scold you, but to gently invite you to move. Over time, it becomes second nature. You start noticing when you've been sitting too long, and your body will actually ask for movement. That's a wonderful sign that you're reconnecting with your body's natural rhythm. Now, let's talk about another powerful but easy fix, building mini movement breaks into your daily routine. A lot of people think that if they're not doing a full workout or going for a long walk, it doesn't really count. But that's not true. Movement isn't about sweating buckets or running marathons. It's about keeping your body active in small, consistent ways. And those small efforts add up. Imagine this. Instead of folding all the laundry in one sitting, you fold a few pieces, then get up and put them away before returning to the next batch. Or you sweep one room, then take a short break and sweep the next. These little breaks give your muscles a chance to work just enough to keep them strong, without feeling overwhelmed. It's like giving your body a little thank you throughout the day. You can also incorporate movement into things you enjoy. Maybe you love gardening. Great. Try breaking it into shorter sessions where you move, stand, bend, and walk gently around. If you like music, turn on a favorite song and sway, stretch, or dance a little while you tidy up or cook. These moments aren't just good for your body. They lift your mood, too. They remind you that movement can feel good, even joyful. And here's the thing. These movement breaks don't have to follow a schedule. You don't need to plan them down to the minute. Just sprinkle them naturally throughout your day. Think of it as seasoning your daily life with a little more activity, just enough to enhance everything else you do. Sometimes people ask, but what if I already walk every day? Isn't that enough? Walking is wonderful, and if you're doing that, you're already ahead of the game. But the problem is that if we spend the rest of the day sitting, after breakfast, after lunch, all through the afternoon, and then into the evening, it cancels out a lot of benefits of that walk. Our bodies need frequent movement, not just one burst a day. It's like watering a plant. You wouldn't dump a gallon of water on it once a week and expect it to thrive. You'd give it a little every day. So, by adding more standing and more mini movements, you're not replacing your walk. You're boosting it. You're giving your body that extra dose of activity it needs to stay limber, energized, and strong. And that's what helps prevent things like stiffness, poor balance, and even those feelings of fatigue or brain fog that creep in when we've been too still for too long. Now that we've talked about how powerful standing more and moving in small ways can be, let's keep this momentum going. There's another simple change that can bring a big shift in your energy and comfort throughout the day. Another simple change that can bring a big shift in your energy and comfort throughout the day is rethinking how you sit. That might sound odd at first. After all, sitting is just sitting, right? But not all sitting is the same. And how we position ourselves when we do need to sit plays a big role in how our bodies feel afterward. You might have noticed that after sitting in a recliner or sinking into a deep couch, it's harder to get back up. That's because our muscles aren't engaged in those positions. Our bodies sort of melt into the furniture, and while it might feel comfortable in the moment, it doesn't offer much support. Over time, our core and leg muscles can weaken simply because they're not being used. And when we lose strength in those areas, even simple things like getting out of bed or standing from a chair can become more difficult than they used to be. One fix? Try switching to more supportive chairs throughout the day, especially ones with arms, so you can push off when standing. Chairs that keep your feet flat on the floor, your back upright, and your knees at a 90-degree angle help maintain good posture and muscle engagement, even when you're sitting. You don't have to give up your favorite cozy seat completely, but maybe reserve it for a short evening rest, rather than spending a whole afternoon there. And here's another small trick that can make a difference. Each time you sit down or stand up from a chair, do it with control, without using your hands. This one habit gently works your leg muscles and strengthens your balance without needing a gym. Think of it like a mini exercise hidden in plain sight. You're not carving out time for a workout. You're just being a little more intentional with the movements you're already doing. Now, speaking of posture, let's talk about screens. Whether it's a television, your tablet, or the phone, screens are a big part of our lives now, and they tend to lock us into stillness. You know that feeling when you're watching something and suddenly an hour or two has flown by and you haven't moved an inch? It's a common trap. And it's not just the sitting, it's also the way we sit. Hunched over, shoulders forward, head tilted down. That position can strain your neck and back and even affect your breathing. But here's a gentle way to change that. Bring the screen up to eye level instead of bringing your body down to the screen. If you're reading on a tablet, place a cushion or folded towel on your lap to prop it up. Watching TV, sit a little more upright. Maybe even stretch your arms out for a minute every now and then. These small shifts keep your body more aligned and reduce that long-term tension that builds in the neck and spine. Some folks like to keep a light resistance band near their chair. Every so often, they do a few gentle arm stretches while watching a show. It might sound small, but it keeps the blood flowing and prevents the stiffness that sneaks in after long periods of stillness. Another daily fix that's both practical and surprisingly powerful is changing how we do everyday chores. It's tempting to get them done as quickly as possible, often sitting for parts of them, like sorting mail or folding clothes at a kitchen table. But what if you use those moments to move a little more instead? Folding clothes while standing at the counter, putting dishes away one at a time, a short walk between each cabinet, or even standing while you make a phone call. All of these little changes turn routine moments into active ones. And the beautiful thing is, they don't take extra time. You're not adding new tasks. You're simply doing your existing ones in a slightly more active way. Think of your day as a canvas, and each movement is like a little brushstroke. On their own, they might not seem like much, but taken together, they create something powerful, a body that feels more alive, joints that don't ache as much, and a sense of momentum that carries you through the day. The more you practice turning still moments into gentle motion, the more natural it becomes. And don't worry about doing it perfectly. The goal isn't to never sit down again. It's to avoid being still for too long. Your body is designed to move in small, regular ways. When you give it that chance, even just a little at a time, you'll likely notice a lift in your mood, your balance, and your energy. It's also worth saying, this isn't about guilt or pressure. It's about care. Taking care of yourself in ways that feel good, that support your independence, and that bring you joy. There's a kind of quiet pride that comes from knowing you're doing something good for your body, especially when it doesn't feel like a chore, but more like a gift. And the beauty of all this is that movement leads to more movement. When you feel better, you naturally want to move more. You might find yourself walking a little farther, staying on your feet a little longer, even sleeping better at night. It creates a ripple effect that touches nearly every part of your day. Next, there's a fix that might surprise you. It doesn't involve walking or stretching, but it has everything to do with how your body responds to long periods of sitting. Hydration. Yes, something as simple as drinking more water can help break up long periods of sitting. And here's why. When you stay well hydrated, your body functions better in every way. Your joints feel more lubricated, your digestion works more smoothly, and your energy levels are more stable. But here's the part that directly helps with sitting less. When you drink more water, you naturally get up more often. Whether it's to refill your glass or to head to the restroom, you're gently prompting your body to move at regular intervals. It sounds almost too simple, but it works. Many people over 60 unintentionally cut back on fluids, maybe because they don't feel as thirsty or they're trying to avoid too many bathroom trips. But that habit can actually lead to more stiffness and fatigue. So instead of viewing hydration as a nuisance, try seeing it as a gentle reminder to get up and stretch your legs. You might keep a small pitcher of water in another room instead of right next to your chair. That little walk to refill it every hour or two becomes a natural break. Or maybe set a cheerful reminder on your phone. Or watch to drink a few sips every hour, just enough to keep your body happy and moving. It's not about guzzling large amounts at once. It's about steady, regular hydration throughout the day. And here's a nice bonus. When you're drinking enough water, your brain tends to feel sharper. You think more clearly, you feel more present, and your mood can even improve. So not only are you moving more, but you're also giving your mind a little lift at the same time. Now, let's talk about one more powerful change that might not look like a physical fix, but it can have a huge impact on how much you move and how good you feel. And that's social connection. Staying socially engaged often leads to more physical activity, even if you don't realize it. Think about the last time a friend invited you out, or even just asked you to come sit with them for a chat in the backyard. Chances are you had to get up, get dressed, maybe walk a bit, or do a few simple tasks to get ready. All of those little things count. And they often don't feel like exercise. They feel like life. Socializing gives us reasons to move. It adds energy to our day. Whether it's a walk with a neighbor, a community class, or just strolling around the grocery store with a friend, those moments pull us out of chair and into the world. They remind us that we're part of something bigger, and that keeps the spirit young. 2. Even a phone call can be a good nudge. Try standing or pacing gently during a conversation instead of staying seated. You'll be amazed at how much easier it is to stay active when your mind is happily engaged in a good story or a laugh with someone you care about. And speaking of joyful moments, let's not forget the power of music. It might sound a little silly at first, but putting on a favorite song and just swaying to the rhythm right there in your living room can do wonders. You don't have to dance like you did at 20. Just let your body move however it feels good. Tapping your toes, swaying your arms, maybe even stepping side to side for a minute or two. It's fun, uplifting, and it breaks the cycle of stillness without feeling like a workout. These daily fixes aren't meant to overwhelm or add pressure. They're little invitations. Invitations to honor your body with gentle movement, to shift your routine just slightly, and to keep your sparks shining bright. You don't need fancy equipment, long workouts, or strict schedules. What you need, what we all need, is consistency, kindness to ourselves, and a little creativity. And if you ever find yourself feeling discouraged, just remember this. Progress doesn't come from giant leaps. It comes from small, steady steps taken every day. Getting up a little more often, choosing the standing option when you could sit, drinking that glass of water, chatting with a friend while you walk around the kitchen. It all counts. The goal isn't perfection. It's momentum. And once you start creating that, even in small ways, everything else becomes easier. You begin to feel more confident in your body. You notice the little aches don't last as long. You breathe a little deeper, smile a little wider, and feel a little more like yourself again. Your body has been through so much. It's carried you through life's ups and downs. And it's still here, ready to support you, ready to feel good, ready to move. All it asks for is a bit of help, a little nudge each day to keep going, to keep flowing. You deserve to feel vibrant, capable, and free in your movement. You deserve to enjoy the simple moments, gardening, walking to the mailbox, dancing in the kitchen, with ease and joy. These 6 daily fixes aren't rules. They're tools. Tools to help you build a life that feels more active, more energized, and more connected. And if you've made it this far in the video, that tells me something wonderful. You care. You care about your health, your independence, and your happiness. That kind of care is powerful. It's what makes change possible. So give yourself a little pat on the back today. Not for being perfect, but for showing up, for listening, for wanting to grow. Those are the seeds of transformation.